Hey, what's up, Rocket Manus? How you guys doing?
Doing well. I'm just curious, are these the 4 teams that you predicted going into the weekend?
You know what? I thought that it'll be a challenge. I was just hoping for some good games. Interning with Buffalo, I was glad to see Buffalo make it. I said do not count out the GOAT, Tom Brady, even though I did predict that probably the Saints will win, but I kept having a question mark just because of Tom Brady. Because any given Sunday with him, as long as he's under the center, you got a chance to win a ball game. Kansas City, yes, and Green Bay, yes.
So you look at, I want to go back, just number one, going back to the Bills game in reference to watching the Ravens and how well that defense played. And you know a lot of those folks up there to contain Lamar Jackson the way they did, and were patient on the offensive side. Are we not giving this Bills defense enough credit because it was all about the Ravens defense coming into that game?
You know what? It was because you got Calais Campbell on that side. But, you know, Emmons and those guys are tenacious. The defense coordinator has an innate ability to make sure those guys are in the right place, and they're young and they're fresh and they're feisty. Because right now, the Buffalo Bills, and I said this going into the playoffs, they were one of the hottest teams, and I did predict that part, and I did give the credit mostly to the offense, defense, even though Josh Allen is playing well, but at the end of the day, as we all know, defense wins championships. So those guys are playing lights out ball. They knowing that this is an opportunity for them to bring possibly that championship back to the Buffalo Bills, back to that area that has been eluding for many years. I remember when they won 4 straight Super Bowls and they lost all 4 of them, and so. I know there was a taste in their mouth, and that city right there wants to win. Those fans are legit. I've been there. Those fans are legit. Whether cold or not, there are some legit fans. As you can see, they gave $290,000 to Lamar Jackson's charity. So
that was cool.
They are loving. Yeah, I know that was cool. There's some loving fans, and they did that. You remember they bought the wings when missed that field goal. Was it Steelers or whatever the case against Steelers? A few years ago when they made the playoffs.
Yes, yeah.
So, you know, so those guys are, you know, I'm happy for them. I always look for somebody different to get in there. We already know some of the same people, but it's good to see some people different this year going into the NFC and the AFC championship game with a possibility with a new person or a new team winning the Super Bowl.
Banks, before we talk about the offense of the Chiefs, I want to talk about Myles Garrett and this Browns defense. I don't know if you saw that. Myles Garrett, I forget who he might have been Hill. He chased down the sideline coming out of the backfield, and he looked like he was running like a 4.5 40. This guy's about 280 pounds with 6'6". Just the athleticism for those plays he played in that game yesterday. I mean, I saw him run down the field. That gave me a greater appreciation for this young man.
Well, I mean, he wasn't playing at 100%, as we all know. That's why they was fairly towards the end putting him in there, especially on passing downs, which is understandable. But, yes, I do remember that play when he hawked down. It was T. Hill. Got him from behind, and that's a player that's hungry and is not giving up, that's not allowing what's in his bank account to control his play on the field, because you notice that some of these kids young men, I shouldn't even say kids, get a lot of money, and then they change the way they play. Well, he's not changing the way they play. He knew to make it that far, he had to be one of the elite players that's going to help the team, especially on the defensive side of the ball, possibly bring that championship back to Cleveland. They fell short, but I still say it was a good game because they were still in it. Anytime that you got a one-possession game going into the fourth quarter, it's not over until it's over. I know Chad went up there and ran that run, and you wouldn't expect that, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. But KC, you got to tip your hats off, not having Mahomes at the end and still winning that game. That's a true sign of a champion.
How do you defense, for many years as you played, you see all the movement, all the motion, all that going on in that backfield of the Kansas City Chiefs, and on top of Mahomes, I mean, you can run a 3-4 at him, a 4-3, all the above. Have you ever faced anything like that when you were playing? Very similar offense?
Well, when you see all that motion, let me say something. I'm sure you guys know because Manu coaches the quarterback, so he knows
Yeah,
all that.
yeah. But I was. Excuse me, Michael. You know how great an athlete I am. So,
Mr.
I mean,
Nerfball
yeah,
here.
I mean, I was amazing.
Yeah, Rock, when you made the golf team in high school, that was great. And,
No, I
and
didn't
we
make
all,
it.
And we, we were, even though you were 6'5" and you made the golf team, no disrespect, Rock, no disrespect.
All
But back to when you see all this motion, you see the zigzag, you see the across the field motion, you see the different players. What they want to see is what the defense is going to do. And that's an indication. And so if you see somebody go across with the receiver, then you know they're possibly a man or a cover two, and or zero, or they're going to blitz because they got to make sure that person is covered because they got the blitzer coming from the backside. So that's all that is about. And then when you don't move or when you do move, that gives an indication on which way they're going to run the ball, which way they need to see who's going to have the one-on-one matchup. I mean, it's a chess match when you see all that. It's a beautiful thing. But what I did when I was playing, my football IQ was huge, is at some point you're going to have to settle down and put your hand on the line and play. So it don't matter if you had 3-0-2, 3 receivers,
Right.
0 backs, and 2 tight ends, or you have 4-0-1, and all those kind of stuff. At the end of the day, you got 5 receivers, 5 people that can catch the ball, and you need to cover those. And if you're in the run position, we need to stop the run and rush the passer. So I knew at the end of the day, all you gave me is your tendencies when you end up in the spot you end up to what play, and that's what I played on the tendency. So you can get confused with that, especially in the secondary. That's what they want you to do, so they get somebody open or on a single coverage. But at the end of the day, you still got to line up and play ball, and they only can have 5 wideouts. And keep 5 offensive linemen in, possibly a tight end, and play ball. Don't make it difficult. You got to be able to slow the game down fast enough so you can play fast.
He's Michael Bankston, former Cardinal Bengal. You can follow him on Twitter at Big Bank 90. Is it Big Bank 90?
Big Bank 90.
No,
Big Bank.
Yeah, I mean, dealing with you guys, I might have to change it to Big Bank.
Yeah, well, that's what our good buddy Dan Minucci put on our lineup today.
He is Big
Bank 90.
Big Bank 90.
Thank you, Michael.
I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. He might be thinking I'm gaining weight, but you guys always keep up the good work.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate
Michael.
it. It's Michael Bankston joining us. It is Big Bank 90. Typo there as Minucci.
It
continues. It doesn't. It happens a lot lately.
It's happening more.
It's happening a lot more.
Texting
You said
the wrong number.
Yeah,
the wrong
you said the
time.
Prevagen, or what is it called? Prevagen has been out. It's like delayed.
It's
couple
delayed.
weeks.
It's on back order. So
is there anything you can take like ginkgo in the meantime?
Yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same thing.
Well, you need something.
Eat healthy, more veggies. More brain
Crispin's
food.
got some veggies right now.
Yeah, you want some?
I mean, we're both revitalizing it right now. So
You
have
sure
some
are.
celery, some cucumbers.
I'll have veggies on me every day, Minucci, if you need.
Yes.
I'll dial in. Until that Prevagen gets back off the back order.